What's happening, people? You are through to the combat show, and you got one third of the co-host here, Mr. Will. Say hello to the people, man.
Hello, people. Let's go. Let's go. You know how I go. You know how I love it. Let's just go. Get into it.
Yeah. Chig is not here today. I think hopefully he'll be joining us for the next show that we do on the corner card. So big up to Chig. That's also one third, and I'm the other third of the host. So we had a fight card last week. I had a we had a big fight card. Like, well, it's a big fight card now, but that's based on what's happened right through the week. Because if you guys have seen, um, if you guys have seen the thumbnail, you'd see what we put on there. So I'm just gonna get right through to it. I'm just gonna get right on it, man. And I wanna get your takes. I wanna see what you guys are feeling about it. So please, if you just coming in, hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. We're a growing channel, and we need all the love we can from you guys to keep growing every week. You're the reason why we're here. You guys are the reason why we do this. So Francis Ngannou, right? Did the UFC do him dirty? Because we had a fight card last week, Cyril Gane and Volkov. Cyril Gane won that fight, 50-45, dominated it. And we're gonna come back to our picks and stuff later on. We'll probably leave that towards the end of the show because we don't have a fight card tomorrow. So it's something that we can definitely put aside till we get to the end of the show. So right, my the way I'm looking at this now, Cyril Gane, obviously we know him. He's he knows Francis because they used to be sparring partners, teammates. They know each other that well in the gym and that. So him winning that fight now, and Francis saying he's not ready to compete yet for his own personal reasons, right? And we know he's also lobbying for the John Jones fight. Yeah, he's not made that any secret. But what the UFC has now done is they've moved that fight and they've now given it to Derek Lewis. So Derek Lewis and Cyril Gane will now be fighting for the heavyweight strap, the interim heavyweight strap. They've now made the interim championship 3 months after Francis just won the title. What's your take on this?
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, to be honest with you, because if he's not ready to fight, then the show must go on. And Dana, the show always goes on. It doesn't matter. So I can't see that really as a big problem, to be honest with you. The problem for me is, would he want to fight Cyril? Because considering they're actually very, very good friends, would he want to fight him? That's my problem.
Right.
Or can Cyril get past Derek Lewis? Because Derek Lewis is also a problem.
Derek Lewis is a problem for anyone.
Yeah, I know, and they're not letting. It's not like, the thing is, if Ngannou doesn't want to fight, Derek Lewis has got to feed his family too. You catch my
There's that. I get all of that, and the actual problem for me and for a lot of MMA fans out there, it's not so much Derek Lewis actually getting the fight, right? It's more of, why make an interim title when Francis has only just won the title 3 months ago? Now, if you look at all the other examples of champions in the division, if you like, yeah, and look at the history and why this is such an odd move. I wouldn't even say it's an odd move. Is one of them. I'll show you who's boss sort of move. Yeah. Because and this is an example in itself. Now, Francis, when he lost to Stipe, look how long it took him to get back in front of Stipe. Right? It took him 3 years. It took him 3 years to get back in front of Stipe. Now, what the interim title now does is because they were putting people in front of Francis, and every time he knocks him out, he's saying, "Listen, when am I going to see the champion? Oh yeah, you got to fight this other guy. Well, when am I going to see the champion? You got to fight this other guy." So he had to fight JDS, Rosenstrike. He had to fight all these guys, and probably the Rosenstrike fight was the one that he didn't even want to. He didn't even want that fight because he just thought these guys are. They didn't even put in as much work as I've put in. I've had to beat Blades twice. You have to beat Blades the second time as well to get back to Stipe. You know, and at no point during that 3 year span when Francis was bringing himself back up, when he was coming back up, was he offered an interim title spot, say against JDS or against Jairzinho Rosenstrike. He wasn't offered the interim title. You know, he would have taken it, and you know why he would have taken it, because of the financial value that comes with it. Because as an interim champion, now you now have the ability to negotiate on the back end and get some of that pay-per-view points as well, and some of that pay-per-view money. Yeah, Francis could have done with that back then. They didn't offer it. So 3 months into his reign, after he's beaten everybody they put in front of him, took him 3 years, didn't complain, got back in front of Stipe, got the title. He said, I remember his post-fight interview. He said literally, right there in the octagon, I'm not going to be able to fight till August, September. Yeah. So he's like Yan. Yan did the same thing. I'm not going to be fighting till, because I'm having a baby, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. Look at Aljamain Sterling. Have they created a interim belt for that division? What that division is waiting? You know, there's there's loads of champions out and about like that they didn't have that. Yeah, let's go and make an interim champion. The only reason that they make interim champions like that. Oh, smoke alarm is going in my house. My son's cooking. That's my boy cooking. I told you as I'm going live, you know, make sure when you done cooking, make sure that smoke alarm don't go off. But hey, these things happen. Yeah. So like I was saying, I mean, when you look at all these other guys that's been in a situation where interim title could have been made for them, we haven't seen anything, you know. So that's why I'm asking if the UFC has done Francis, if they've done him dirty, because the last time an interim champion interim belt was made in the heavyweight division, right, was back when Cain Velasquez was the champion, and we know the injuries that he had to go through. You know, all the back injury, putting mesh in his back, and all of that. We knew what Cain Velasquez was going for, and that's the reason why they made that interim title at that time. In this case, there's no reason. Like Francis just won 3 months ago.
Wait,
what's the reason?
But hang on a minute. So when's the Derek Lewis thingy fight?
Oh, Cyril Gane, Derek Lewis. I don't think it's been given a date yet. It hasn't. It definitely hasn't been given a date yet. They're thinking 7th of August.
I still want to understand why you think, that Derek is being done dirty, because I can't.
No, Francis.
I mean, Francis is being done dirty because I can't see it, to be honest with you.
I'll just explain to you.
I know what
on the paper on the financial side and the pay-per-view points.
Listen, I get that point. My point I'm trying to say is he said himself, I'm not ready to fight. So where do we go from there?
Yeah, you can make the fight, but why does it have to be an interim title fight? This is what Francis said. Check what Francis said. Where was my interim title fight? When I had to fight JDS, Blades, and Rosenstrike. Why couldn't I have got some of the pay-per-view points when I got to the negotiating table? If he had lost to Stipe, say he lost to Stipe, he would have just got the box standard money because he didn't have that interim thing. Now, one of these guys when they win the interim strap, when they come to the table, they're gonna be getting some of Francis's. This is where I'm coming from now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be getting some of the money from his pound,
Yeah.
and with him and a lot of fighters that put in so much work and try to try and they try and this is their living, this is what they do, this is their life, this is how they feed their family. And really and truly, if a set amount of money is not supposed to be going to say another group of people or a another fighter or the opponent, I don't think that bit of money should be going to them. It should stay with the fighter that's entitled to that money. So I mean, for me, it's just one of those where, yeah, it feels. I feel like he's been done a little bit dirty. That's just what I think. You
I,
know,
me, I can't like. Okay, I see your point. I see your point, but I don't see why it should affect him now. He's the champion now.
that's what Sirigan said. Sirigan was very candid about it, and said, "Look, this shouldn't really mean nothing. The interim belt means nothing anyway. We've seen how Michael Bisping treats the interim belt. He just snatched it off. Remember, he just snatched it off of Whitaker's hand. Right there, the man just literally won the belt. Just took it off his hand and dashed it. Listen, this is the real thing right here. This is the real belt. We saw what we saw what Justin Gaethje did when he won the interim belt. They don't want to win it. I mean, they don't really want it because they laser focus on the
He's
proper
a
one.
champion. He's
But
a
they
champion,
know,
bro.
but they know that gets them to the negotiating table with,
Listen,
that gets them to the
listen,
negotiating table. They
listen,
know that.
listen. All right, so should I break down why Ngannou had to go through all of that?
Mm.
You got
Yeah,
5 old, bro. You got 5 old. You got
that was
5
that was
old.
3 years ago.
But listen, ain't no one wanted to see that fight anytime soon after he got 5 old, especially after what's his name again, Derek Lewis. When we started really clamoring for him versus Stipe was after Rosenstruck.
Mm.
That's when everyone got on it. Like, now he deserves to see him. Now he deserves to see him. Before that, we weren't saying that. Let's be honest with ourselves. So
Mm.
where I can understand where you get your anger from, but also my point is, well, dude, you didn't make it. It wasn't a fight where it was like back and forth or kind of like close or even close. It was a 5-0. You let me put it this way. Turn your mic on for a sec. Turn your mic on for a sec. Let
Yeah.
me put it this way. What did I say about Usman versus Masvidal? What did I say?
What, the first fight or the second fight?
When he gave him the second fight, what did I say?
Why did he give him that fight?
There you go. So now you see how now my answer is. He 5-0'd him. You've been 5-0. Whether or not, however it happened, you've been 5-0. I don't want to see it yet. So
I mean, look, I'm just one of those people that obviously I look at the sport with a different kind of lens. You know what I mean? And all the little nooks and crannies that's involved in the sport is part of the things that I look for as well. Shout out to Conor McFooker. Yeah, our boy from Ireland. Shout out to you. Salute to you. Thank you for joining us. And Ansh, thank you for joining us as well. Big up to everybody in the chat room. Salute to you guys. Thank you very much for joining us. And we're going to come back to your question in a little while, Ansh, in regards to Hamzat Chimaev. So, this whole Francis thing, yeah. Obviously, you don't see it like he's being done dirty.
no.
And And I get why. I get why because at the end of the day, he's still the champion. He's not losing anything. But I feel like he's going to lose at least a little bit of slice of the
Remember,
money.
remember. What does Stipe say every time anyone mentioned Ngannou to him? I 5-0'd him. Why would I want to see? Why would anyone want to see that again? I 5-0'd him. Why would anyone?
Mm.
He didn't want it. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And that's my whole point. I'm trying to say to you, like, there's no point going to someone, yeah, without an argument, yeah, until the person gives you and like a point to argue for. Do you get me?
Mm.
Yeah. After he beat Rosenstruck, there was no argument anymore. It was like, okay, he's done enough now. He's done enough now. Let's see how he goes against the champ this time around. Do you get what I'm saying? That's
But it
when
was almost like there was nowhere else. There was nowhere else to go.
no, because no,
Nowhere else to
no,
go.
no, 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 no. It's not because there was nowhere else to go. It's because they both of them had kind of cleared the way. Even though what he didn't notice what he was doing was he was clearing the path as well for all challenges for Stipe. Because all these guys who he beat would have fought Stipe by now.
Mm.
You catch my drift?
Yeah, I definitely with you on that one. And
so
look,
that's why. So he cleared the road himself.
Mm.
Him and Stipe were doing their jobs, and it just coincided with them meeting up there. But the problem is, he couldn't have got a rematch straight after. He couldn't have got a rematch 2 fights up. No, he hadn't been in the ring longer. Even when he was going in the ring against Stipe, they said he hadn't been in the ring long enough. He didn't acquire long enough minutes to go against Stipe again. How will we know? Because you add this whole time up, it makes a ring and a half or whatever, a round and a half or whatever it was. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? So how would we? It's people were still scared for him going to Stipe's fight until you saw him stuff a takedown. Were you all the way confident?
No.
Okay then.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I wasn't all the way confident. But look, it's just one of those situations. Hopefully, in the back of my mind as well. In the back of my mind, I'm also thinking it's Ngannou because when you look at it, yeah, although he did say and he said it on the night that this is when I'm going to be able to fight. August, September is kind of the time that I'm looking to fight. I've listened to his coach today, Eric Nixick, and it's about schedules and timing and some of the other things that Francis he's not even able to make August to try and make um to try and make camp because he was due to make camp, and I wouldn't have known this if I didn't listen to Eric Nixick. So when he went back home, he had to renew his visa to be able to get back to America, right? And you know what that's like. That took some time. So that's taking time out of the camp time that they were looking to try and make the fight for the 7th of August. Because we're now in July. July, August is there's no time for camp. Camp usually is what? To have a decent camp, we're talking 3 months. Sometimes really 4 months, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Sometimes maybe 4 months. So I just think you just got to look at it. You got to look at what's going on there. And now that the coach has come out and said it, it needs time. It needs time to prepare for it. It definitely needs time. Look, let's move on from this topic here because that was a main kind of topic that I really wanted to come to today. But there's another current event because like I put on the thing, like I put on the thumbnail. There's another current event that's gone on with a UFC fighter called Sarah Alpa. Um, it might be. Well, I'm not familiar with this UFC fighter until I actually went on a GoFundMe page and checked out. What I should put a video on Twitter on a Twitter handle as well. So if you guys don't know who he is, go on Twitter, check her out, Sarah Alpa. She put on there that she ain't got no money. She's a single mom.
She's a
Don't got.
UFC fighter, right?
She's a UFC fighter,
Okay,
single
pause.
mom, um, and she's struggling to pay for her gym, struggling to pay for training, even struggling to pay for food. When she said food, that was the bit that really got me. Like, all right, maybe training, that's by the by. Maybe gym fees, again, you can survive without those. But food, I thought, I'm gonna drop a few coins in there for her as well. And this would have been a normal GoFundMe situation. This would have been one of those normal GoFundMe situations. But it isn't, because Triller then went on the GoFundMe page and donated $25,000. And on top of that, as if that went bad enough, well, as if that went good enough, because for Sarah Alper, she don't care. This is good. This is why she opened up the page in the first place. And Jake Paul then goes on there and donates $5,000. But did Jake Paul do it for the right reasons? What's your thoughts and feelings on this?
Of course not. Of course not. Come on, because he's had this thing with Dana, so all he's gonna come out and say is, "You can't even. I've got to pay your fighters for you now." The hell's going on there, Dana? You ain't got no money, or do you know what I mean? Yeah, that's so. This is so bad for Dana.
Yeah, it looks
So
bad for
bad.
it looks bad. Not just on Dana, on the UFC as a whole. Like for promotion like Thriller,
It's Dana though, because it's always Dana who has his face out there, kind of getting it. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who's
it is
talking
Dana.
the crowd too.
Hmm.
So it's gonna be Dana. It looks bad on Dana because UFC can say, "Well, we have a format, we have a system how it runs. We never went to brag and say this or say that. We never wanted to put a bet on Ben Askren." So Dana,
Yeah, I mean, this guy has $1 million to put on Askren not to lose a fight. Surely, you know what I mean? He must have like what, 10 grand, 5 grand? Because it can't. I find it hard, and I could be way off the mark here. I just find it difficult that he doesn't know about this GoFundMe page, because look, they got a team of social media people that comb the social media to see what's going on there. They got a team of people that does that. So how 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 would he not know? How would he not know? About this fight and that GoFundMe page, and what could come of it? Like I said, it's good for Sarah Alper. It's good for her. But what about what about um what about the UFC in itself? What about Dana White in itself? And when these type of things come out, you know, you gotta call him out on it. You gotta call him out on it, because at the end of the day, for me, the fighters still have to get paid. They have to get paid what they deserve. They put in the work. They put a lot of they put their life on the line. Even in training, even in sparring. They could get injured and they gotta go and work another job or two other jobs. Remember, we was talking about Rob Font and how
yeah,
new he was. I mean, it was a pizza delivery boy going into this. And really and truly, it shouldn't really be like that. From that, from my point of view, it shouldn't really be like that. So from look, what I would like to see moving forward, again, I'm going to ask you as well, but what I'd like to see moving forward is, from when people get signed to the UFC, really, that should be their primary job, their primary career. They should be earning. The contract should be good enough for them to, because if they were with like smaller promotions and stuff like that, I can understand it. But once you get to the UFC, really, you should not be you shouldn't be doing another
let
job.
me ask you a question.
You shouldn't be doing that.
Who's the number one UFC athlete right now? Number one.
Number one UFC athlete.
Mm.
Did you say? Mm, I don't know. Connor. Well,
John Jones.
okay.
You see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. I mean, Masvidal's been here before as well.
But you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Carry on. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if the highest, the one who the real fit, let's forget all that Khabib shit and all that shit. Jordan's been around from when UFC, from the Liddell days till now. Do you get what I mean? He was at the end of Liddell's days. Do you get what I'm saying? Because he was
Mm.
there during the Rampage Jackson and all of them. Yeah.
Big up Zach, DJ King, fam. I'm not Tyron Woodley. I wish I was Tyron Woodley. I wish I had Tyron's money. You know what I mean? But no, I'm not Tyron Woodley. Salute to you, though. Thank you for joining us tonight, man. Salute. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So so if the highest, if the like the real star of the show is not being paid that much, because Connor's stuff is different. Connor's business deals with the UFC is different. It's very different from the average fighter. If you're looking at the average fighter as a fighter
Mm.
to see like how much the UFC pays him for being a top athlete, and it's not much. It's not much at all. Because look at the people in boxing. If Ben Askren, yeah,
Mm.
is telling you they pay me way more than the UFC has ever paid me for his boxing match, then and that was a joke. That wasn't. Think about this. Think about this, guys. Yeah, Ben Askren got paid more. Ben Askren got paid more.
Mm.
Yeah, for a joke competition than he'd been in all his fights in the UFC put together.
Mm.
So you tell me now, does the Sarah thing surprise you?
It's yeah.
If it surprises some of you, then yeah, because you're not really paying attention. But me, it don't. It
No,
don't surprise me.
it definitely doesn't. It definitely doesn't. And when you look at it, Ben Askren saying he earned more money that night. All right, I get it. Maybe Trailer cooked the books and tried to
It's not. It's not. No.
hold on. Maybe they cooked the books. Maybe they try to over exaggerate what they the amount of pay-per-view buys that they had. But that doesn't mean Ben Askren didn't see his biggest payday in his entire career from that one fight. It doesn't mean it didn't happen. And I believe he saw his biggest payday there, and that's probably why he took that fight in the first place. Like this is just a big ass payday for me. I can't turn this down, regardless of what I'm going through. Hip replacement surgery, not in shape, but he got into the circus and he went and earned a whole lot of money from it. So on the fighters pay thing, I want to see every fighter get what they deserve, get what they put in. And for me, once you make it to the UFC, really and truly, that should be your main focus. That should be your main job. That should be your main everything. You should not be going to work a second job. You should not be going to look for handouts. You should not be, you know, setting up GoFundMe accounts to get
Tell
extra money for your
tell
training and all
tell
of that.
tell Ala Quinta that he's always told every UFC fighter to find a second job while you're in UFC. He's always said that.
Yes. Yeah, well look, that's for people that want to. It's not like it's not comfortable
No, he
enough.
says his job pays more than the UFC pays.
That's probably
He's an estate agent. He's a realtor.
yeah. I know he works in the real estate business. Look, at the end of the day, it's just how I see things. When you're in an elite organization, like
I
it's
know.
like it's like someone making it to the Premier League and having to go
Yeah,
and do a second job and not go training and not do all the things they're supposed to do and
but
still be
hold up.
working a second job.
The reality
Maybe in
is,
the conference and in League One, it's a whole different thing. You got to do that. Some people in the championship still work, right?
the reality
But
is, one FC pays more than UFC. Even Bellator
Bellator,
pays.
Bellator pays more than UFC.
Even
Corey
Bellator pays
Anderson,
more than
all
yeah.
these fighters that's gone there. Robbie Johnson saying the same thing. Like this is the biggest pay, and these are. I think what I'd say Yeah, I think UFC obviously use the size of their organization and the platform they got and the clout they have as a leveler for the money that they have to pay their fighters.
Yo, bro, they sold the company for 4 point something billion. Don't tell me about Leveler. They made them. They look. If you if if you got 4 point something, but like, or not even sold it for like, if your company is worth 4 point whatever billion, that means you're generating that amount of money like every year
Hmm.
or close to that amount of money every year. That's what they base it on. Do you get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So they were making enough money to pay a lot of people. And this is what everyone's been saying. UFC makes too much money for it to do what it does. You tell me yourselves. Every other week there's a pay-per-view. Every other week there's a pay-per-view. You tell me. You tell me.
Yeah, look, I'm with you. I get where you're coming from, and I just think with these fighters, UFC definitely they definitely got to do better. They definitely got to do better. And this is a nice little segue. Uh, Zach mentioned in Tyron Woodley earlier on. We're going to talk about Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley obviously got this fight going on with Jake Paul, and a lot of videos has been surfacing of Tyron literally taking this thing very seriously, like really seriously. Have you seen some of the footage that's been floating around on the
Yeah,
internet?
yeah. But
What do you make of it?
I'm also of that cloth where I don't know, man. I think Tyron's still Tyron, man. Like the Tyron we've known of the last 3 years. I think that guy is still that guy. Because what Andy spoke about every fight he's been in since he lost the belt.
Oh,
And then goes in the ring and then does that. All right, maybe his last fight was different, but I think Tyron's Tyron. And if Jake can keep him long, it's gonna be a long night. But then again, you never know. Tyron might feel like you're not the guy to scare because Tyron was just scared of getting knocked out. Trust me, once he gets hit and gets buzzed, he's gonna retreat the whole time. He's gonna try and not get knocked out, which is try and not fight, or just throw one shots and hold, one shots and hold. That's how I see it. But
so
I could be very very wrong.
yeah, I mean, look, I said I promised myself that I'm gonna stop referring to Jake Paul as a YouTuber. He's a fighter at the end of the day. He's a fighter. He's a boxer. It might not be elite like some of the guys that but
But he can
from
box.
but from the respected people in the boxing world and people that really know the sport, they said this guy's been putting in the work for the last 3 years. He's been working on his boxing, been working on his footwork. He's been working on a lot of things, and they've got the difference between them and say young boxers that's just coming up and amateur boxers that's just coming up is they've got money to pay the best trainers. They've
Yeah,
got money to pay the best trainers, and if
literally.
the best trainers are endorsing them and saying, "Listen, these guys they've been putting in work in the gym. Yeah, they're not elite. Yeah, they're not top of the top.
But
Um,
they're close enough.
yeah, I mean, look, and this is Alex Pro Dang. He just said he ain't a boxer if he hasn't faced a boxer with boxing hands. Will, what's your what's your take on that? Let me leave that on the screen there for a minute.
Alex, Alex, think about this. Alex, think about this. Why would he? Why would he? He's getting paid beating anyone who would just jump into like. Just think about how many celebrities and other people who don't box say they want to fight him and beat him and knock his head off. Alex, if you were a celebrity, you would want to fight him too, right? That that's the whole point. That's why he would never fight a real boxer. He'll do this, and then it'll get more dangerous and more dangerous. He'll try and fight. He'll try and get people that look big, look crazy, to make himself look madder. But it's all about the hands, and he knows that Tyrone's lost that tiger in him. He's lost that little dog in him. You know, dog out a fight. He knows that
Mm.
Tyrone's lost it. That's why he picked Tyrone. That's why he was happy to fight Tyrone. If it was Tyrone before 3 years ago, he ain't fighting him. You know why? Do you know why? Because he had the choice of fighting Kamaru Usman and Tyrone Woodley. Guess which one he picked? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he
He
didn't want that. He didn't want that smoke.
he knows what he's doing, and he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait. So Kamaru gets a little bit older, and then say, "Yep, I'll fight." This guy's playing. He's playing the public. He's conning the public, and everyone's falling for it.
Look, at the end of the day, at first, I was up in arms about these guys. Yeah, I was up in arms about them. Like, you know what? Why are they coming to the MMA world and just trying to, you know what I mean? Do what you're doing over there. But at the same time, they they've created a niche. They've made a niche. They've made a little pathway for them to earn a little money, and for the fighters that they're getting involved to earn a little money as well. And I'm actually I can't remember who I was watching the other day, and they were saying like Tyron is all in on this. It's almost like he needs the money. Like whatever, God knows what he's been doing with all his other bit of money, but it looks like he needs the money, and it's just one of those. It really is. I I don't know. I don't know what to make of it, but I like what I'm seeing from Tyron. I like what Tyron is doing now. He's taking it very, very seriously. He's he's taking it serious, and he does want to win the fight. He does want to avenge his friend's loss as well to Jake Paul. I mean, you want to say something?
Nah, what? Not too much. It's just I've just seen it with Tyrone. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't give him a chance against anyone anymore. I think the
Alex,
dog in him is gone.
yeah, Alex Produng said, but it's kind of ruining the meaning of the sport. And and I get you. Look, we all have a friend called Big Unks, Kenny Ken. To some of you guys that know him, or and he's a very, very, he's an old school boxing guy. You know what I mean? He loves the sport. He's a purist when it comes to boxing, and he don't like all of this type of stuff. Yeah, he doesn't like that type of stuff coming into. So I get your sentiment on why you think is ruining the meaning of the sport. But at the same time, we in 2021 going in 2022. There's a whole new meaning to exactly. It's where the money is taking you. There's a whole new meaning to the sport. It's almost like when they say the sport is evolving. You know, um, but a lot of crossovers has happened from even back then. But the way they're taking it now, and social media is a big part of what's also taking place. So we have to look at it and just go with the times, if you like. Just move with the times. This is the times we're in, and these guys, it don't look like they're going anywhere. It don't look like they're going anywhere. They look like they're here to stay. So we just, if you don't like it, which is what I've always said, if you don't like it, you ain't got to watch it. You really ain't got to watch it.
You
Um,
like it, lump it.
Joe Clemens, big up to Joe Clemens. This is Big Up Man Them back with another show. What's your thoughts on YouTubers making so much money compared to much better fighters that have been grinding their whole lives for not even 10% of that? Will.
That that's what we have been talking about. The thing is the niche. Is the finding a niche. You find your niche and you just go with it. They found a way to get their audience intrigued with it. We're in the age of Conor McGregor. We're in the age of Mayweather's. Do you get what I'm saying? So they found a way to let their fans make them believe that they're that Conor McGregor's, they're that Mayweather, they're that. So then they buy into it, and then they follow it, and then these kids it's most of these like kids are the ones buying the pay-per-view. They just buy it, and then they go crazy, and then you see what you see. So personally, it's from their fans, and they've got such a big cult following. They've got such a big cult following. You just remember the KSI Logan Paul fight, the first one, not the second one, the first one. See how crazy it was. Good evening, Dan.
Big up to our guy Dan C. Salute to you.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us this evening, my friend.
It's just if you just got too many, and then because I was kind of following that a little bit, only because on YouTube it was everywhere, and I went on KSI's channel. It was millions watching it on KSI's channel. And I went on Logan Paul's channel. There was millions as well watching it, and then there was millions watching the pay-per-view. Like and I was thinking, how they do this? How these guys do this? But then they've got loyal. When you go in there, even their music videos in that, like they've got over 100 million views and crap like that. Like how they get that when there's proper musicians you don't get after that. And that's what I'm saying is the following. It's more of their following. Their fans who buy they can make the crappers song and their fans will think it's the best song ever. They could throw the crappers punch and the fans will think it can knock Mike Tyson out. You get what I'm trying to say? That's what they tap into now. And these little things, they're kids. They'll probably watch a video of Vine or something of him doing something crazy and think, wow, he can beat Jet Li. That's how they think.
Yeah, definitely agree with you on that one. Let me just read what's coming through in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Black Lives Matter here. Welcome on board. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. He says, "What's your prediction for the Conor McGregor versus Dustin 3?" Right, we can always give you a nice little early prediction if you want, but we what we're gonna do is next week we're gonna do like the full card, and we do our picks, our prediction picks on there. But I would like to know Williams hand early if I can get it. So
You show me your hand.
Thank you very much, Black Lives
No.
Matter, for this one.
No. You show your hand early first because you know me. I always bring my stuff to the table now. I don't even hide anything from you anymore. So you show your hand first. Come on.
Oh man, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been looking at Connor's preparation going into this fight, and every time I look at it, he's doing all the right things. But has it had enough time to correct the mistake from the last fight? That's the problem I have. If this fight was happening in October, November, I'll have a whole different mindset to it. But because it's happening so soon from the last fight, that's where my mindset is. That's how I'm thinking about it. Like I don't know if he's done enough to really change the outcome of what happened in the last fight. Now, all of that could change if Dustin doesn't come with his proper A game. We know what Conor can do. In that first 2 minutes is the most dangerous minutes of your fighting life if you're in there with Conor. Then first few minutes is he can just turn your lights off just like that. But I'm gonna go for early prediction Dustin. I'll go for Dustin. Your turn, William.
This one, right? I don't know. I see Dustin winning it. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't, chick.
Shout
No, I
out to
won't.
my boy Chig.
No, I won't,
Um,
chick.
Chig got work holding him up tonight, but hopefully he's gonna be on the show with us next week. While we do the pay-per-view breakdown and predictions.
I see Dustin winning it, but I also think Connor didn't step on the gas like he did. I think he was kind of waiting a bit a few
Mm,
times, and he did rock Dustin a few times. You get me?
mm.
So this time coming in, knowing what Dustin done to him, would he try and finish him like Eddie Alvarez, him like quick, quick, quick? Would he try and get onto him and forget about his gas tank? Because I think in the first fight he was thinking about his gas tank a lot, so he kind of held back a bit.
Mm.
But the
Okay.
thing is, I think that if he gets past the second, with Conor, if he gets past the second round, everything gets crazy.
That's the thing. It's all about survival. I wouldn't even because he's trying to play
But that,
mind
but
games.
but that's but that's a slow starter too. So put that in there.
Yeah, but he's trying to play mind games with Dustin. He's already put out this week. Have you seen his tweet this week? Shout out to everyone, by the way. I'm drinking proper 12, just so you know what I mean. I, I like
He's by the way.
I like to indulge. I like to
Shout out.
indulge in.
Hang on a minute. Chick, you know what's coming, right? Shout out everybody as well. He's Khabib's #1 fan, and he's a Muslim. Okay, so put that in your pipe and smoke that too with it.
Sue me. So, um, look. At the end of the day, Connor, that first few minutes is dangerous. But he's already playing mind games with Dustin. He said the first person to shoot is a bitch.
It's a dusty bitch.
Is a Dustin. You know what I mean? Connor's already throwing the mind games out there. You know what I mean?
But, and then probably threw one back, saying, "Well, he's the one who likes to preach about MMA being all." When he was fighting Mayweather, he was on about if you got I do
shins, your elbows, your this, your that, mix it up. Yay!
yeah.
So
How
why
about
all of a sudden wrestling and taking man down is a crime?
yeah. So how about this? This is MMA. How about this? First one to get taken down is a dusty bitch. Yes, sir.
This is gonna be one of the best comments tonight. I don't know if you guys in the chat follow Faudila Mojihat. He does this animation thing on YouTube. He is badass. The brothers are badass, and he uses the fighters' voices in the animation. Absolute badass. Like how every single clip he puts out, I follow that. So if you guys ain't seen that yet, please jump on YouTube. It's Mojihat Faudilat. I think I'm not sure if I butchered it. I think I've
You
pronounced
probably
it
have.
correctly. Yeah, but Chig is the one that's a resident butcher for names. But I think
Let it slide on that one. Let it slide on that one.
yeah, I think
Let
I
it
got
slide
that
on
one
that
there
one.
still. So
I
look,
still like Jing Lin Yang.
yeah, that was pretty bad, didn't it? That was a bad one, bro. That was a bad one.
Jing Lin Yang.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So this is something I'm only just hearing. Chig is saying supposedly Connor has staff.
He's scared. Pussy.
Right.
He's scared.
No, that word will not be
I'm joking.
tolerated on here, bro.
I'm joking. Before the chat room goes crazy on me, I'm joking. Okay, just put in your legs. I know how y'all love Connor and that. Like all of you guys.
No, bro. I'm not saying.
I mean, we've got all the drinking proper 12 right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Connor's time. Yeah.
I'm surrounded.
Anyways, look, Connor supposedly has staph infection. I don't know how true this is. This is the first time seeing it, and if there's truth to it, then this card is about to go up in flames, man. Because I look at the whole card itself, and
Ola, Ola, how many
mm,
times have we looked at cards like that and ended up looking at each other like, "Shit, that was a good night."
yeah, for real. And this is what one of the reasons why I love Fight Night so much. You know, is one of the reasons because to me, there's just so much to prove on Fight Nights, and that's why people, that's why you get better fights in there. It's almost like when people make when they're on pay-per-view cards, they almost feel like they made it, blood. You know
Yeah,
what
they
I mean?
made it so they slow down. Yeah, so they
Yeah,
kind
it's
of like,
almost, they
yo,
almost feel like they've made it.
fight
But
night, baby.
when when you're on the Fight Night cards, you see these guys that bring everything. They bring everything, man, on Fight Night, the Fight Night cards. We had a question here from John. Shout out to John. Big up to all you guys that's joined us. Everybody that's with us in the chat room, watching on Periscope. All of you guys will see you. Thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. If you're new, please hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit the like button. It helps us to grow. We're a growing channel and we want to get even bigger. And we can only do it with you lot support. So please um, do that for us. So John says here, we don't know. I'm going to read out his chat. Big up, my guys. What's your thought on Usman fighting Nate? Now, this is not official. This is just something that's out there. I believe I did a video on it a few days back because those both of them were just having a back and forth. Nate tried to tell Usman, "Hey, you do what you get told, like the good champion you are, or whatever." And Usman, I'm just paraphrasing here, and Usman says, "Look, the key word here is champion." And Nick came back and said, "Bro, I don't mean to disrespect you. You know what I mean? I was just saying." And like, listen, Usman said, "Hey, listen, if you want this pressure, holler at your boy Hunter. Hunter obviously is the lawyer that drew up the contracts and everything for them to sign. So if you want some of this, um, you know, give Hunter a call, and they'll draw out the papers." It's always what Dana always says. If Jones really want this fight, he knows who Hunter is. He knows where to fight Hunter. So now this if this fight, say hypothetically, it got made. Hypothetically, it got made. Um, where do you see it going, and how do you think it affects someone like a Leon Edwards, if you like, or even a Wonderboy?
I don't think Usman gives a shit right now. You know why?
Oh.
Money fight.
Green Panty Night.
Money fight. That's what he wants. The money
Mm.
fight. He wants the money fights. So he's choosing Nate. Nate just lost. You remember he gave Nate a chance by saying, "Nate, fight Leon Edwards. If you beat him, you got a title shot. Leon Edwards fight Nate. If you beat him, you got a title shot." Leon Edwards won, and he still wants to fight Nate. You just think about that, man. Think about that.
Mm.
He wants the big payday, and Nate brings a big payday.
It's mad.
Anyway, and another thing that's really weird as well, if we're going back with Nate. I remember back then, and Nate said this before the Pettis fight. Back then, no one wanted to fight him. Nobody wanted to fight him. They didn't want to see him. They didn't want to have nothing to do with him. You got to fight against Nate. It was like, oh, can't fight him. Oh, fuck it, let's just do it anyway. But shit, it felt like that, right? But now all of a sudden, he's a money fight. Everybody wants to. Everybody's like, yo, fight me. Even Poirier put his hand in there at one point. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Nate's name brings a lot of eyeballs. You know what I mean? You when you talk about Nate Diaz, I mean, it's just it brings eyeballs, and is one of those guys that doesn't need to be in the rankings to be in a big fight or to main event any time. His name alone main event stuff, and that's why some of these fighters, could have done with him. I mean, look, true story, and will back me up on this. Like last Saturday, I was at a MMA event here in the UK, out there in Wolverhampton, and fantastic event. They had all these fighters
Don't say
from
the name yet,
Leicester.
but go on.
They had all these fighters from Leicester, from Birmingham, Wolverhampton. Like I said earlier on, had fighters from all over the country. It was brilliant. Um, and I ended up running into Leon Edwards. I ran into Leon Edwards and I had a good couple minutes chats with him. Fantastic, fantastic guy, down to earth. Had a lot of time for
Guys,
everybody that
guys,
came to him.
guys. He never told Leon Edwards that he's an Usman. He's a big Usman fan. Never. The
Oh,
pussy never
God.
said it.
Bro, I'm an
The
Edwards fan.
pussy never said it.
I'm an Edwards fan as well, man. Fam.
No, you're
Edwards,
not.
Edwards is the only hope we have here in the UK to see a UFC gold. Yeah, if you don't want to fuck with Leon Edwards for any other reason, make that your reason. At least for me here in the UK. But yes, I
Listen,
looked to that guy. Had a lot of time for everybody that came and spoke to him, and I did let him know. I put some money on him, and when he got rocked,
yeah,
um,
you actually want money off of him as well. That's the thing.
yeah, I backed him up. I put money on him to beat my boy Nate. You know what I mean? I didn't tell him I was a Nate fan either. You feel me? But when he got rocked at, I was screaming at the telly like, don't you dare, Leon, don't you dare, Leon. And Leon just busted out laughing when I told him all of this, and he said, "Listen, thank you for at least putting faith in me, and I'm happy that I made you some money. I'm happy that I made you some money." And he said a lot of his friends that did back him as well, they all felt the same way when Nate rocked him. So he knew he got rocked, and it's not the best way to finish the fight. But I said all of that to say this: I don't think it'll be fair on someone like Leon Edwards that's what on a 9-10 fight win streak, 10 fight win streak, dominated that fight for 24 minutes, and 1 minute is one thing that's defined the entire fight to the point where John is now asking us what's our thoughts on Usman and Nate. Not Usman and Leon, Usman and Nate. That 1 minute defined all of that. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But
Because
look,
Nate's Nate, and I told you he's the big money thing right now. So
he's the money fight right now. Um so let's switch gears. Um bear with me. So one fight that's been scheduled is Gustafsson and Paul Craig. Paul Craig and Gustafsson. Yeah, I see
what
that
light
one.
heavyweight?
I see that one. Yeah, that one it got your attention, man. You know what I mean? Gustafsson versus Paul Craig for the 4th of September. So that's in the books. Well, it's not in the books yet, but it's been scheduled for the 4th of September. How you feeling about your initial thought about that? Shout out to UFC fanboy. Look, as you can tell, I'm a UFC fanboy like you. You know what I mean? So thank you very much for joining us tonight. And it says you actually look like Tyron Woodley with the hat, bro. I've had this Tyron Woodley comment here a couple times tonight, man, but thank you very much for your comment. I salute it. I respect it. Thank you very much.
All right, Tyron.
So Paul Craig versus Gustafsson. What's your initial thoughts and feelings on that one?
My initial thoughts and feelings. Okay.
Today is good. Anytime.
I'm- Gustafsson's done for me. Gustafsson's done for me. And I think I saw it in the John fight, the second John fight.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like this guy he kind of gave up. And I don't think he might bring the beast out once in a while, but not yet. I think he's done for right now. Really, really
Hey.
done for.
My take. I think, judging by how he lost his last fight, because Vadum was his last fight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you remember that fight?
Yeah.
And what I said before that fight, how that fight was going to end? It ended exactly like that. And this is as bad a matchup for Gustafsson.
Mm.
You know, it's a really bad matchup. They can't do this to him. The second, you know what I mean, second time. And look, shout out to Chig again. He's saying, look, that's a good fight, that one. And while it might be a good fight, it's a better fight for Paul Craig. I think it's a better fight for Paul Craig. I think Paul Craig is just gonna wrap him up early while they're still dry.
Wait,
And
wait, wait, chick. You seen anyone that takes Gustafsson down? You see what happens? Easy. You're gonna put Gustafsson there with Paul Craig.
you know, so it's a very very bad matchup. I think for Gustafsson. I think Paul Craig is just gonna pull him down into the waters, man, and just drown him. Just gonna drown him down there, but and it's so easy for someone like Paul Craig. Very very easy, very easy. Um, so the last topic I really want to talk about. Let's switch gears. Last topic I really want to talk about and I want to touch on and get your thoughts and feelings on it is Charles Martin calling out the body snatcher, Dillian White.
I saw that. I saw that one. Um, Dylan should beat him up though. Dylan should beat him up. Shouldn't be a problem at all to Dylan. Should not be a problem at all to Dylan. But these are the heavyweights, so you never know.
Hmm.
But I Dylan all day. If I was to put my money on it, like the last bit of money on it, Dylan.
So Dylan responded to Charles Martin calling him up, and Dylan said, "Listen, even Prince Charles will knock you out." He said, Dylan said, "Even the Prince of Wales will knock you the fuck out." He
And
said,
he's
"Why are
not
you
going.
calling my name?" He said, "If I beat you in 4 rounds, they'll say, oh, but AJ did it in 2. If I beat you in the first round, they say, oh, he ain't recovered back from the AJ beating that he got." He said, "What's the upside for me fighting this guy, man? Do you know of any upside that Dylan doesn't know and you want to put it out to the world?
No, there
Give
ain't
us
an
the
upside
upside
to
for
it.
give us the upside for Dylan. Come on."
There ain't an upside. It's just well, he wants to cross over. The thing is, he wants to cross over to America, isn't it? And that's why Charles Martin said what he said. So he said basically said, if you want to come over and fight the Christian Ariolas and all that, nah, fuck that, fight us then. We're the next to the crown, so you might as well fight us.
Hmm. I
So
mean,
that's how it goes.
it's look from what Charles Martin saying, and thank you to everyone that's joining us tonight. I can see JP Chesson in the house. He says Dillian's good, just needs a chance at a big fight. He's been waiting too long. He's been waiting too long
What big like guys,
because
let's
Dillian ain't really had he ain't really had a shot at the top echelon of the heavyweight division.
okay.
From what my guy JP Chesson is saying here.
Rewind selector. Let's be honest. First off, he's chinny.
Who,
What
Dylan?
Povetkin did to him, yeah. What Povetkin did to him, it shouldn't have been done to him. A 41-year-old beat up Povetkin, and he didn't even throw the punch like he wanted to take his head off. He just kind of flung it out there. Hold up. I don't know. Dylan for me is He struggled against Chisora. That's it. He struggled against Chisora. So for someone to struggle like that against Chisora, for me, you don't belong in the top echelon because everyone will stop Chisora. Out of the top guys, everyone will stop Chisora. Every one of them. And those that won't stop him will outbox him for 12 rounds. He won't touch him. I.e. Fury. So, I'm just saying.
Okay. And JP Session also said before he gets old and rusty, which is
the top echelon are old and rusty. They're all older than him anyway.
what, all the guys in top echelon?
Yeah, I think the only one younger than him is Fury.
That's younger than Dylan White. Okay.
I think it's Fury. All of them are older.
So AJ is older than Dylan White.
Either older than him or the same age, but all of them are just around. Like so, he's not gonna get old and rusty if he keeps fighting.
Right.
I
Shout
want
out
to
to
talk about
Alex.
one thing.
Yeah, one second. Shout out to Alex Dang. Thank you very much. You can't donate yet because we haven't reached the numbers of subscribers that we need to get there to help with donations. But right now, at this point in time, sharing it, subscribing to us will
That's
get
more
us to
than a
that
donation
number.
to us, yeah.
That's more than a donation that will get us to that level where we need to that level where we need to get to. So thank you very much for thinking of dropping a donation on us. But your support and getting us out there means way more to us right now than actually donating some cash. So thank you very much again for your thoughts on that one. We really appreciate it. And Paul says he says Chizora's a doorman.
but that's the whole point I'm trying to say, JP. That's the whole point I'm trying to say. Like he struggled against the doorman. He made the fight debatable, and for me, and then also against Povetkin. That yeah, I get it that you like it's heavyweight boxing and that, but Povetkin was 41, man. It's 41, man. 41. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be caught by them. He's slower than you. And plus, he was in a slow state when he caught you anyway. His arms are moving, so he was moving slow when he caught you. You ain't fight. People wanted to fight Deontay Wilder, but I think that's murder for him, you know? That's real murder for Dylan White. That's real murder for him. Real murder. But we'll see. Tyson Fury can ride shots, you know. Tyson Fury can ride shots. He can ride.
I'm not sure the amount of chances that people are actually giving Dylan White out here. I don't think he's getting the. Maybe that's what is projected with his work, and that last loss that I had against Povetkin didn't help him. Obviously, he went back there and corrected it. You know, the same way it happened with AJ. AJ was even a bigger stake because he had belts, he had world titles involved and everything. Yeah, go on.
Listen, AJ has still showed over time. Like, you know, I don't like AJ, right? But he still showed over time. Like when they get like the top guys here, when they choose to step on the gas, is different. It's different.
Is it AJ you don't like or Eddie Hearn? Which one is it?
You put them all together. So they come as a package. I can't fucking ignore
I just had to check.
Okay. What you call it? Even Wilder, who can't box, if he chooses to, if he say this round is the round I'm gonna knock you out, best know he's gonna buzz you that round if he doesn't get a knockout. Do you get what I'm trying to say? When these guys step on the gas, is different. Now, when it comes to White, he don't give you that. You can't even tell which one you're gonna get. The boxer, the puncher, and half the time, both of them ain't that great anyway. You know what I mean? Swinging wildly against Chisora, missing, getting clubbed loads of time against Chisora. Who Fury boxed the second fight with his hand tied behind his back.
That's
Nah.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Um, we got Paul's going. He's going mad out here, man. Chisora, doorman. We got Uber driver.
See,
You know what I mean?
that's what I'm saying.
I mean, look, these guys are gonna eat. So hold on. Is boxing not paying their fighters? Why is why is people being bouncers and Uber drivers, man? We were just talking about Sarah Alpa a minute ago. Talk to me, bro. What's happening to the legends of your sport, man?
Nah, listen, nah. They make money. They make peas. He's just teasing. He's just teasing. Calm down now.
I
This
thought,
ain't
I thought,
UFC. Calm down now.
I
We
thought,
don't
I
even talk
thought,
about your
I thought,
boys.
I thought I had the equalizer there. You know what I mean? I thought I
No,
had the
no, no,
equalizer
no,
there,
no,
man.
no, no, no,
All right,
man.
all
Don't
right,
come
all right,
like
all
that.
right. I thought I
Calm
had it.
down.
I thought I had the little equalizer there, man.
No, bro.
You know what I
How
mean?
about looking for equalizers here? No, UFC, you lot are shiggy.
Um, JP session also said Derek's had it. And Derek's had it, man. Um,
Yeah, and then what's his name struggled against him.
and this is why I'm trying to see, you know, what I mean, gauge the level of respect that that he's got out there, and why he's not really seeing the top echelon of fighters in the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? And I made a little suggestion the last time regarding Dylan White and maybe Luis Ortiz get into it. You know, that's a fight that could potentially happen. And I see Charles Martin is probably seeing some of that going on and decided to call out Dylan White. You know, decided to call him up for.
I got a feeling, right? I got a
Mhm.
feeling that if that fight happened, i.e., um,
Shout out to Dana Mad White. Thank you for joining us tonight. Can see you new around here. Thank you. Please hit the subscribe button on your way in, the
Dana,
like button, share button. Please get it out there. And pay your fighters, man. G.
Dana,
You
pay your
feel me?
fighters, bro. Pay your fighters, bro.
Yeah, man, we love you,
Pay
but
your
you
fighters.
gotta pay their fighters, man. You
Pay
feel
your
me?
fighters. Or pay your fighters, bro. Come on, Dana. But yeah. Anyways, let me get into something because before we cut or whatever we're doing.
All right, Chick. All right. Look, I feel the pressure from you boxing. I thought I had a little equalizer here, but I see it, I see it,
Exactly.
I see. Cheek says, yeah, you know, you guys pay your fighters. Yeah, you know, I'm just thinking, why would any of your fighters be an Uber driver and doorman? You know what I mean? Like JP Session said. So, but he's playing. So I get it. I get it. You was gonna say something, William? Please.
I'm gonna go to last week. Go back to last week. Boxing.
Mhm.
He surprised me. He really surprised me, and I'm on about Tank. Tank surprised me, really, really much. Like,
Lavonte Davis.
yeah,
Yeah, very, very impressed.
yeah, and I did say sometimes I didn't think when I said that he might blow him out of the water. I thought when I said I feel like it's one of these fights where when they give you so much hype, you can either go and have like a real war and then lose, but then you lose with your dignity, or you can go and blow them out. When I meant blow them out, I was saying like beat them like 4 rounds, 5 rounds. That's what I
Mm,
meant by blowout. I didn't mean by 11 round blowout and then knock them out. I didn't mean that. So Tank actually proved to me that I could box too. Just I could knock him out anytime I want to, but I could box him too. And that gate, like I said, these kind of fights, they can even make it so easy. The most difficult fight can be so easy. And I was trying to say Israel. I tried to use Israel as as in Paulo Costa would beat anyone like
mm.
Gastelum easily, but he was the easiest one beaten out of everyone, and Gastelum was the hardest. Do you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I, man, so I looked at that fight as him being the stronger guy. He could either do an Adesanya and he could either blow him out easily, but I
Mm,
was expecting it to end really, really early. if that was gonna be the problem, not take him like he literally took the Mexican to deep waters. And this Mexican, I don't know what he ate, or I don't know if they changed his blood in between this fight and his last fight, but he had no chin. He had no chin, especially when that jab knocked him out. The jab knocked him down. I thought, oh my God, you're a Mexican. Well, you say he did survive. He did survive every knockdown. He got up to every knockdown, but for a Mexican, his jaw was quite weak. Quite weak.
I was just going to say, is it Mexican or Italian?
He's Mexican.
Right. Okay. I I checked out some of Javante's like post match conference thing, and he said the reason why he went for the knockout was because Floyd came and told him that he was down on the cards. He was unofficially down on the cards. That he needs to go in and knock that brother out. And that's the reason why he had to summon the fight gods to give him to deliver that power for him to be able to put Mario Barrios up.
I thought he was never in trouble.
That's interesting. That's very, very interesting. We got a comment here from JP Session. He says Tank's IQ was better on the night. He learned a lot from the Floyd camp. Goes to show not all Mexicans can fight and do work. So that's look, to me, what's more impressive for me was him moving 2 weight classes up to go and fight this brother. That's the most impressive part of it.
You got to think, and this is also going back to last week. What I said, yeah, you can't knock him out, because if Deontay Wilder can knock people who are bigger than him down, then why not? Why can't Tank do it? And that's another thing I was trying to say. But I was still thinking, yeah, but this is a Mexican chin, so it's gonna be very, very hard until the fight. I bet you, yeah.
You there? Can't hear you. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. What was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, you said you bet me something.
No, what was I saying before that?
Well, we're talking about Tank and Mario Barrios.
Yeah. For me, it was just so easy for him to just knock him down. And for Mexican, come on, bro. Come on. Some of them were even like embarrassing. Some of the knockdowns were even embarrassing for Mexican. But you never know. Maybe Tank does hit very hard. And now, also after that fight, I think all those who said Tank versus Lomachenko had a point. Because if this guy hits you, you really gone. You gone. I mean,
yeah, it's wild. That's wild. We also have a comment here saying Wilder has been sussed out. He ain't beating Fury. What happened to the excuses? Don't have any respect for it. I've had
a countryman.
I've had a lot of beef with Wilder in the past. I've made no secret of it. Everybody that knows me on this show knows, my thought on Wilder. I like Wilder now. It seems to be taking this, because the press conference I found very, very weird. I found that press conference was ridiculous to me. It was weird. Not saying a word, putting on his headphones and just kicking back, and I'm not saying a damn thing. I thought that was crazy. But Wilder claiming his African roots right now, it's kind of endeared me to him. He's endeared me to him. But still, It's got a long way to bring me all the way over. But I'm willing to give him. I'm willing to give him a start. I'm willing to give him a start. And this is no reflection on me saying he's a better boxer than Fury, because that's not it. When I like a fighter, or whatever fighter that I'm rooting for, I just root for that fighter anyways. Unless there's something at stake, then that's where calculations come in, and I have to check out the odds, and I have to see where I go, and I can always throw my own fighters
I was
under the
about to
bus.
say, I was
A
about to
bit of
use, I
money.
was about to use that. I was about to
for,
use that.
for a bit of
You throw
money,
them under the bus.
I will throw my fighters under the bus. You know what I mean? If the money looks good, so don't play with me. um, but look, I like Fury with what he's done in the heavyweight division. A lot of people like him, like the way he goes about his business in the ring. Maybe not so much outside the ring, but who cares? Sometimes, I just like to see what a man is doing in the ring or what he's doing in the octagon. And this is just one of those where you look at Fury, and I still don't think Wilder beats Fury, even in this fight. I don't think Wilder beats him. He's got the equalizer, but I don't think he beats him. So, um, I mean, it's crazy. It's
So how much
crazy.
you want to bet on that then?
Ah, we'll talk off air. We'll talk off
You're
air.
betting against your Nigerian man again.
We'll talk off air. We will talk off air. But Paul says
You can't
him
make your
put
bets off
him put
like
him,
on air now.
him, him,
You
him
scared?
putting headphones on
You're
not
scared.
is to not let Fury get to him. I suppose he's a sore loser though. No, no, definitely.
JP, calm down, bro. JP, calm down. JP,
And
calm down. Okay. Yeah, we gave all our excuses and that. Yeah, but we're back this time. Apart from
JP is a Wilder fan. You can't
apart
say
from me.
nothing wrong about Wilder in front of Will. He's a Wilder fan. Look, if Chig is here right now, he might just be going back and forth on this thing about
JP,
Wilder. You know what I mean?
JP,
But
JP.
he's
Let
a
me
real
break it down
Wilder
for you.
fan.
Let me break it down for you. You know why? Because Wilder is the shittest boxer ever. That's why I'm a Wilder fan. You know why? He's the shittest boxer ever, but he still manages to beat all of them good, better boxers than him. That's why. Apart from Fury, he's beat everyone. He's even knocked Fury out twice. Like, knocked Fury down and out. So, yeah, Wilder. Therefore, I Wilder.
Big up Kelly Melia in the house. Kelly Melia, thank you for joining us tonight. Kelly says, don't sleep on Inoue, Japanese
Yo,
Shansung, collecting
Shansung. Yo.
collecting souls. Incoming, we want Tank, Teofimo, Loma Smoke. I've done a video on this earlier on in the week. Thank you for joining us, Kelly Melia, and I'm sure you was in the you was in the cut when I was making that video on one of them early mornings that I usually put the videos out. And this is what the boxing world is really looking at. They want Teofimo, Loma, and I think the Loma fight was always going to be a rematch with the fighter that is supposed to be fighting. So there's a lot that's being looked at right now. There's a lot that's up in the air, but this is a fight that could get put together. Will, what's your thought on this guy's been put together?
I totally forgot about Inoue. Inoue versus Tank could be real. That could be like what? That's like the lower version, yeah, of Wilder versus
Fury.
no AJ.
AJ, right? Got you.
Bombs away.
Got you.
It's called Bombs Away.
JP says your trainer says a lot in an upcoming fight, but Wilder has his house boy as his coach. He's got a yes man as his coach.
No one makes it worse. Wilder and Fury.
How is your butler your coach? That hold on, and then Fury beat this guy in sparring as well. Like
Wilder's beat him as well.
what? His coach?
Yeah.
Wilder beat his coach in sparring.
No, beat him in a fight.
Oh, so his coach had a fight with Wilder before. Oh my days. Rah. Okay. So why is your coach that you already whooped his ass? That's your that's running as your butler in your yard. why has he got that many yes men around him, bro?
No fucking no. Don't fucking.
Jesus Christ.
I
Like I said,
don't know.
oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Like the more news that's coming out of this fight, the more I
But
feel
JP, why would I lie to you? Why would I lie? The facts are there. It's facts. Why would I lie? I won't lie. Just because I like the guy, don't mean I'm gonna lie for him. Come on, JP. I'm not gonna hide
mm,
this. It's facts.
oh.
What do you mean by What do you mean by He's Nigerian, so think before you talk. Go on.
This
Go
is
on.
always gonna be your new go-to now, with it.
Go on.
This is gonna be your new go-to now, yeah.
Well,
This is gonna be your new go-to now. Anyways, thank you very much for everybody that's joined us, that's put in comments, that's supported us tonight, that's come on the show. We've seen some new faces, we've seen some new names, we've seen some new people, and we really, really appreciate your support. Thank you very much for coming on the show, for joining us tonight, man. I can't tell you how much this this means to us and what it means to the channel. So um, we are going to be back next. We're going to be back next week to predict the corner fight. That's when the big pay-per-view fight is coming up. Um, and whatever boxing news or any news in the mixed martial arts world, in the combat sports world, we're going to be putting it out there on the channel through the week. I usually do some early morning dropouts, some early morning live shows where I just bring some news to you guys and let you know what's been going on in the MMA world, in the combat sport world. So please, please, please subscribe, like, share, do all of that good stuff. Show us some love. We're growing and we can only do it with your support. Thank you very much for joining us tonight. And we'll take us out.
yeah, people. We will see you next week at the same time, a half night. Thank you very
Salute.
much, and we're out.